Zeke back. NXT just ended, so I figured I'd go ahead and give my thoughts on what's happened so far since they did the very first pros poll. Now they're doing something different this year. Instead of just having the pros give their thoughts, they're actually going to have half of it be the pros and half of it be the audience voting, which I think is great because we're actually the ones that are going to make and break these people. If we don't like them, then they're not going to be there. And if they would have done that first season, Otunga would have been gone. But I digress. They had the first pros poll. And before I get to that, I'm going to talk about the show itself. I think it actually was one of the first NXTs that was genuinely booked really well. Aside from bringing back the keg toss, the matches were really solid, and I agreed with the winners. So I thought that was really good. Alex Riley was given his first loss, and I think he kind of took it in stride. I'm sorry, Alex Riley. Husky Harris was given his first real match, and I got to see him in the ring, and he was pretty impressive. He lost to MVP, and I think that's good because you don't want somebody to have that kind of heel heat and then immediately start winning because they're going to get a big head, and that's never good. So it was a good match. MVP really brought out some good things in him. He hit some good moves, and he impressed me. They had a 6-man tag match, and the faces went over. It was Kaval, Mike, and Lucky Cannon versus Eli Cottonwood, whatever. It was Eli, Titus, and Riley. And I thought it was a really good match. They decided to pick on Lucky. He seems like he's going to be the whipping boy of this season because they actually gave Kaval a victory. And he actually got to get the pinfall, which I think was really good. Come time for the pros poll. And, well, before I get into what they did, I constructed my own pros poll. Or my own rankings, I should say. And I had Mike McGillicuddy as number 1 and Kaval as number 2. I kind of like McGillicuddy right now a little better than Kaval because I haven't seen Kaval in a while, and I don't know if they're going to let him keep the same kind of moveset as he had in ROH and TNA. He was pulling out a lot of the same moves, and he has the same finishers, so it's promised, but I'm going to make sure that they're not going to tone him down too much. But I think they have the two most potential just because they have the most experience. So number 1, Mike McGillicuddy. Number 2, Kaval. Number 3, I put as Alex Riley because he reminds me of Miz, and it's funny looking at him. I noticed today that he looks like a younger version of Matt Striker, which is kind of funny. But I think he's really good. He's got that cocky heel attitude to him, which I love. He just seems like he's got it, that mysterious it that they always talked about. So I put him as number 3 because I like the other 2 guys more. Number 4 I put as Percy Watson. I think that's his name, Percy Watson. I want to say Percy Jackson, but that was a movie. Percy Watson. He hasn't impressed me in the ring that much, but he's pretty impressive, and I like his gimmick. And dude, the guy's freaking on speed or something, so that was kind of cool. I put Lucky Cannon as number 5. Now, he won immunity, which I didn't care about because the keg toss, which I'll get to later, he won immunity with the keg toss, but I think he's got a lot of heart and he's got a lot of talent, even though up until today, he was 0-2 and he hasn't won a match yet himself. So I think he shows a lot of promise, and he's got until the end of the season to move up in the ranks, but I like him. He's kind of good. I put Husky Harris as number 6 because he's really impressed me on the mic. I don't know about in ring. He looks solid, but I'll still need to see more, but he's really impressed me on the mic, and him and Cody Rhodes have really paired up really well, so I like that. I put Titus as number 7 because he's very bland, and it's not that he bores me, he just doesn't impress me. And I put Eli Cottonwood as number 8 because I want to see him gone. He bores me. Like I said last time, he looks like a mix between the Great Khali and Festus. I don't want to see him. He did move around a bit more this week than he did last time, where he just basically tossed Kaval around. So he did do some moves this week, but he still doesn't impress me. Now, as for the official pros poll, my top 4 was their top 4. They had Kaval, Percy, which I didn't agree with, but okay. McGillicuddy, then Riley. And then they actually had Lucky as number 5. Then they had Eli as number 6, which I don't agree with, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that likes him. Then Husky Harris was 7, and finally Titus got sent home. I can't say I disagree with the results, because, like I said, Titus just wasn't impressing me. I don't think he's as bad as Eli is. Maybe they're keeping Eli just because he's a huge guy, and WWE pops boners for huge guys. We'll see. But it was an interesting introductory pros poll. It kind of, I have to say I agree with everything. Then again, the first pros poll had Otunga fairly low on the list, and we all know what happened to him. So we can hold out for best. The keg toss. Half the people with the keg carry. Half the people with the keg carry didn't even finish. Lucky Cannon won. I think him and Alex Riley were the only ones that finished. No, a couple other people did, but I think only half of them actually completed it. So hopefully they realize that these stupid things, A, don't draw ratings, B, are stupid, and C, give more opportunity for someone they may actually be trying to push to screw up, because Titus slipped. Sometimes that happens. McGillicuddy, he went up first, and right when he picked it up, the thing slipped out of his hand, and he dropped it. That's probably one of their number 1 guys, and he drops it right off the bat. So leaving things to random chance like that really don't show in-ring ability whatsoever are kind of stupid. So they need to stop it. I hope I don't see an obstacle course later on. I hope I don't see... I could see them doing something like a promo off where they all get to cut a promo, because that's important. But like the jousting thing, that was stupid. They need to just remove that from the program. But NXT isn't disappointing me so far this season. I think they learned a lot from the first season, and things seem to be shaping up pretty good. Only time will tell, but there we go. That's NXT. I spent a lot of today watching shoot interviews from Jim Cornette, and it depresses me that he's not in the 2 big promotions. He's in ROH, which is good for ROH, but he has such a good mind for what the business needs to be at, but it's not sports entertainment, so TNA is basically becoming sports entertainment. We are wrestling, but they're degrading into sports entertainment. But I'm going to go back and watch more of those. You might see a review of them. You might not. I might just watch it and then talk about what I think he's right about and what I think he's wrong about and whatnot. But, yeah, that's all I did today. Today was a very wrestling-centered day. Thank God for days off from work, or else I'd gone crazy. But that's it. Hope you guys are enjoying NXT so far, and we'll see you guys later on livefrompartsunknown.com. Later.